Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. Before Roland was turned into a lifestyle brand, our favorite synth manufacturer released instruments that had a profound impact on music history. At the top of this pantheon sits the iconic Jupiter-X, a massive analog synth keyboard sent down to Earth in 1981. Today we are going to talk about Jupiter-Xm, and it goes without saying that Roland would treat its majestic legacy with utmost respect. Just kidding, it's digital, there's plenty of menu diving, and of course mini keys worthy of a Microkorg. At the first glance, the little XM is ticking all the "how can I turn off these goddamn built-in speakers" boxes. The real simulated aluminum sides can't hide the fact that most of the synth's enclosure is plastic, but the aforementioned aftertouchless keypad isn't half bad. I'm not a big fan of the toy-ish pitch and mod wheel. A generous, generic synth UI gives you access to a best-of subtractive synthesis parameters and is applicable to all the built-in synth engines. Well, mostly. Speaking of, the 5-part multi-timbral synth hosts Zencore models Roland's allegedly sample-based platform for what they consider to be authentic recreations of classics like the Jupiter-X, Juno 106, Aspen Craft's finest, the SH101, a tasteful selection of XV5080 Rompler sounds, and a somewhat decent acoustic piano. Vocoders are always welcome, and the modern Jupiter-X engine is the star of the show. Part 5 is reserved for drum kits. These parts are combined to a scene and the keyboard assign buttons allow for quick layerings. While the emulations stay mostly true to the structure of a subtractive synth, the XV engines come with Roland's notorious partial system, turning sound design into menu diving hell since the 80s. Parameters per partial are served on an endless sushi conveyor belt of madness with multiple samples, mod matrices, and step LFOs. The filter section can be switched to a Moog or SCI model but remains somewhat anemic. In addition to the self-explanatory synth controls, 2 faders and 3 buttons can be freely assigned. I'm surprised the Arpeggiator didn't provoke any lawsuits from Apple. It's from a time when AI wasn't as threatening as it is today, allows for complementary patterns on multiple parts based on, among other parameters, playing dynamics, and is basically an accompaniment section in disguise. Motifs generated here can be transferred to the clunky 64-step sequencer, which does its job but isn't up to Groovebox specs. Roland multi-FX sections are, of course, totally awesome. Pro features like the balanced XLR outs and unfortunately through-less 5-pin MIDI are accompanied by Bluetooth connectivity and gimmicky stuff like model aging and a fake warm-up period based on the actual internal temperature. USB MIDI is not class compliant. Jupiter-Xm's engine is supposedly identical to that of its bigger sibling, and and the small synth goes for the price of 3 Microkorgs, so thanks to Klangfarbe for lending me one of their floor models. Jupiter-Xm is a compact and immensely versatile synth keyboard. Is it Roland's Microkorg or just pure blasphemy? You have already heard Jupiter Jr. in today's intro tune. SH101s, TR707s, it's all there. I wanna know how the keyboard fares as a Groovebox. That's certainly not what you would get an XM for, but it is with a few limitations possible. It is quite obvious that Roland still has a few MC707s and SH4Ds to sell. Given Roland's long history as a drum machine manufacturer, this modern take on the classic TRs was slightly underwhelming. Time to let a few specialists take care of this. Wow, that's some great sounding patches, especially in the Rompler department. For a small-handed non-keyboardist like me, the keypad is very convenient to play. I would describe the overall tone of the instrument as clean and polished, maybe a bit too vanilla for some. Let's use the XM as the only sound source in. I might be too old for this kind of stuff, but it's the most fitting visuals I could find for this well-behaved melodic techno meets piano and organ house. Just like its noble ancestors, Jupiter-Xm is a professional synth aimed at real musicians in a traditional sense of the word. It provides an inoffensive palette of Roland sounds for band scenarios, large ensembles, studio sessions and other applications you actually get paid for. However, if you, like me, are missing essential skills to survive in such an environment and have to compensate for this with sound design tricks and elaborate sequencing techniques, the XM indeed seems like Roland's late and overpriced answer to the Microkorg. Maybe I should finally start practicing the piano. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like, subscribe, become a patron and leave a comment what other kind of gear you would like to see and hear on the show.